Hello my dear friends, welcome to this session. In this session we're going to deal with module 6, unit 6b, reading part. Before we read the text, let's find out the meanings of the vocabulary that we have in this lesson. Look at this picture. As you see, this boy has something in his hand. It seems like a dish, and he seems very poor. He has some cuts here on his clothes, and he seems to be asking for something, maybe money or food. But do you think is this a good way to get things? Of course not. It's a way that anyone won't be proud of. This is the meaning of this word, beg. 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 Beg is a verb that means to ask for something without pride. The next word. This picture shows some people here who are in the street, and they seem very angry, and they disagree with maybe something like what we had here in Egypt in 2011 and 2013 during the Egyptian revolutions, the 25th of January and the 30th of June 2013. This scene shows some demonstrations. Demonstration means public display of opinion or feeling. When people get out into streets to show or to express their opinion, whether they agree or disagree with something. This is demonstration. The next word. This picture shows a human being or someone's blood. As you see, here is the blood, and this part is called gene. Gene. Genes, the plural form of gene, which is a part of the DNA in a cell. As you know, the human body consists of millions of cells, and the parts that form this cell are called the parts of the DNA or the genes. You may have heard the word genetically modified. Genetically modified means when the scientists change the formula or the genes of a creature, that may be a human being or a plant. When they do this to plants or kinds of food in order to make them grow better. This is genetic engineering. We have studied this terminology before. The next word. Look at this girl. She is holding a dress. It seems to be her mother's dress, but her mother isn't here. She may have been dead. When someone has no father or mother, or his parents or her parents are dead, he is called orphan. This girl is orphan, and we will come across the word orphanage, which means a place where some orphan children live together after their parents had died. So orphan means a child whose parents are dead. The next word. As you see, this is a hand that is pressing half an orange or maybe half a lemon to remove the liquids here. The woman or the girl that is pressing the half an orange in order to remove the liquids inside, that means she is squeezing the half of a lemon. So this half a lemon or half an orange is squeezed, which means pressed firmly. Firmly means strongly, to remove liquids. The next word. This man has so much pain. He is putting his hand on his heart. So when someone has pain, he suffers. The word suffer means to feel pain because of something. By the way, you may someone may suffer either physically, referring to the pain we feel on our bodies, and mentally or emotionally. When someone feels very disappointed, he suffers from disappointment. When someone had the problem of poverty, he suffers from poverty, and so on. All these parts that you see in this picture shows things that someone may use to harm or to even to kill someone else, and we call any one of these things a weapon. So a weapon means any object, anything used in fighting or war, like a gun. This is a hammer, something like a sword, and so on. Now we will move directly to the lesson. There are some more words here besides the words we have just come across. Here the word snapshot means a photo that is taken quickly and describes what is happening at a certain moment. So this is a snapshot. To gulp down means to eat or swallow large amounts of food or drink quickly when you are in a hurry. All the other words we mentioned them before. Let's read. Snapshots. And the title of the lesson is Children of the World. It's 7:30 and it's time for school. It's nice and warm in your bed. Eventually means at the end. You get up, wash, get dressed, and go into the kitchen for breakfast. You gulp down your bowl of cereal and a glass of freshly squeezed orange juice. Your mom hands over. To hand over means to give something to someone else. Hands over your pocket money, the money you take from your mom or dad in order to pay for your needs before you go to school. And you frown. You frown, that means you shows using your face that you disagree or you are not happy about something because you would like it to be more. So this snapshot shows a moment of someone's life. Meanwhile, around the world, at the same time around the world. So this one has the one about whom the writer is talking here has an a normal life. He's only sad about his desire not to leave the bed at the early morning he wants to keep sleeping or enjoying the warmth of the bed, and he is not he disagree or she disagrees about the amount of money, but all other things are normal. Meanwhile, around the world, let's read about the other ones. In an orphanage outside Lilongwe, Malawi, an orphanage, a place where orphan children live. Zoe is one of the 500 lucky orphans. Remember this word, lucky. Lucky orphans who has been given a home here. They are lucky because they have a home. Many other children do not have any way to live. Her parents died of starvation when she was 8. She feels lucky to be alive and have a place that she calls home. There are over 1 million orphans in her country. Only in Malawi, her country, there are more 1 million orphans. In her country, and most of them do not have enough food to eat or a proper place to live. So very different lives between the first one and Zoe. Did you know? Here is a fact. Do you know about 800 million people all over the world suffer from hunger, while one child dies of it every 5 seconds. Every 5 seconds, a child in somewhere around the world dies of hunger. He or she starves. If governments spend more money on food programs and less on weapons, fewer children would be hungry. So this fact shows a very bad thing, that governments spend a lot of money on weapons while they have to spend it to provide food to people who don't have food or something to eat. Let's move again. In Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, Armando wakes up every day to the noise of the city streets. He and 4 other 10-year-old boys, so they are 5, share a small space under a bridge, so they are homeless. They have no home to live in. They have covered it with scraps of cardboard and old rugs they found in the rubbish bins. He has been there since his parents died in a car crash. During the day, he roams. He roams means he moves around. He roams the streets begging or looking for food. When he grows up, he wants to be a pilot. This part of the paragraph shows the very difficult circumstances in which Armando and the other children with him live in. They have no home, they are homeless, they beg for food, or they search in rubbish bins maybe. Very difficult life. Did you know, of all poor children in the world, 50% of them do not have proper shelter? If governments built more homes for children, fewer of them would be in this awful situation. Awful means very bad. So if the governments all around the world spend more money to provide these children shelter, a place to live, other than, or that will be better than suffering from homelessness. Afterwards, in Mogadishu, Somalia, Hebo, age 8, waits for his father to return from work. If he is lucky, the dollar his father makes will be enough to buy some rice and fresh water for his family. Hebo hasn't eaten in days, and he feels too weak to go play with the other children. So Hebo is very weak because he doesn't eat a lot. Even he didn't eat for days because his father is very poor. He only earns $1 a day, and of course it's not enough to afford their needs. Did you know the people of the United States and the European Union spend a total of $13 billion on perfume each year? If they gave this money to the poor, they would not die of hunger. Do you imagine this big amount of money? $13 billion. People in the United States and the European Union spend this big amount of money to buy perfume, while other people around the world die of hunger. Life is very different for millions of children around the world. Many are poor, hungry, and homeless. Don't just think about how lucky you are. Do something to help make their lives better. If we do something to help now, life will improve for children like these. This is the moral of this text, and we have to do something. Some people donate money or their old clothes for those people. We have to do something. For homework, I want you to perform a video presentation. Think or imagine that you are Armando, the one who lives in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Describe your lifestyle. Describe your daily routine. And tell me, how would you like it to be different? What changes do you want to happen in your life? We've come to the end of this video. Thanks a lot. See you next time, inshallah. Goodbye.